Kaze has two forms, but most players switching at the wrong time. Today I will show you to exactly when to switching to Geisha and when to switching to Ninja and combine both forms to dominate your games. Kaze has completely two different forms, but simply knowing how to switch between two forms is not enough. The real challenge is knowing which form to use and when exactly to switch forms. One form gives you control and safer pressure, the other gives you mobility and aggressive finishing power. Use the wrong form at the wrong moment and you can lose the fight instantly. But master the timing and Kaze instantly becoming one of the most versatile brawler in the game. Today, I'm going to explain both forms, how their attacks and super works, how each gadget changes depending on your current form, the best star powers and builds, and the most important combos and mistakes you need to know. Kaze is an ultra legendary brawler with moderately high health and two modes. She was the 92nd brawler added to the game. In her Geisha aspect, she has a very fast movement speed, a variable damage output, and a very fast reload speed, and immense utility with her attack. She attacks by dashing forward and slashing, dealing moderate damage. For her super, she throws a hand fan which summons a storm that makes her and allies invisible to the enemies in there, dealing damage over time to enemies that touch the outer edge. In her ninja aspect, she has a normal movement speed, a higher damage output at close range, and immense utility with her super, at the expense of having a moderately low reload speed. Kaze attacks by throwing two knives that deal more damage up close. For her super, she travels a long distance quickly. Enemies caught in her path will be temporarily marked, which detonates shortly after for high damage. Now let's talk about Kaze's gadgets. For her first gadget, Gracious Host, Kaze gains a temporary movement speed boost when switching to Ninja, and recovers health when switching to Geisha. For her second gadget, Hensujutsu, Kaze becomes temporarily invisible to enemies when switching to Ninja, and dashes forward when switching to Geisha. Now let's move on to Kaze's star powers. Her first star power, Advanced Techniques, temporarily slows enemies down if she hits enemies in the strike spot in her Geisha aspect, and nearby enemies will be damaged when marked targets explode in her ninja aspect. Her second star power, Gratuity Included, removes ammo from any enemy brawler caught in the storm in her Geisha aspect, and increases the duration of her gadgets in her ninja aspect. Her Hypercharge Ancient Energy allows her super to slightly damage enemies inside it over time in her Geisha aspect, and increases the super dash speed while instantly damaging marked enemies in her ninja aspect. Kaze has two aspects, Geisha and Ninja, with different main attacks and supers. Her gadgets, star powers, and Hypercharge affect each aspect differently. She starts in her Geisha aspect at the start of the battle, and whenever she respawns, and uses her gadgets to swap aspects. In her Geisha aspect, Kaze dashes forward a short distance similar to Mortis and Kenji, and then slashes in a short 2-tile range circle around her, dealing moderate damage, but not behind walls. In her ninja aspect, like many dashing abilities, Kaze's dash will be cut short if she attempts to dash into walls or water, causing her to slash early. Unlike Mortis and Kenji, the dash itself deals no damage. Kaze's attack also features a strike spot that initially covers a 120-degree cone at the top of the circle. If an enemy is hit within the cone, they will take double damage, and the strike spot will be repositioned 90 degrees clockwise after. More specifically, the center of the enemy's hitbox must be within the 120-degree cone. In her ninja aspect, Kaze fires 2 knives in a line. Targets closer to Kaze take the most damage, and targets near Kaze's maximum range take significantly less damage. Similar to Leon and Chalk. The second knife throws deals slightly more damage at all ranges except at minimum range. In her Geisha aspect, Kaze throws a hand fan that creates a storm in a large radius that lasts for 5 seconds. Enemies inside are unable to see brawlers or projectiles outside of the storm, and any projectiles will not be visible to them once they travel outside the storm. Enemies that are caught at the edge of the storm will be damaged, and the damage can hit multiple times if the enemy remains standing on it. More specifically, the center of the enemy's hitbox must be within 1 tile of the edge. In her ninja aspect, Kaze quickly dashes 9 tiles. Enemies caught in her path will be marked for 2.5 seconds, after which the marks detonate, dealing high damage. Kaze can't use her super to dash over walls or water. Gadgets. In both aspects, both her gadgets cooldowns start immediately after they are activated. Gracious Host. When activated, Kaze switches to her ninja aspect and gains a 30% movement speed buff for 2.5 seconds. In her ninja aspect, when this gadget activated, Kaze switches to her Geisha aspect and recovers 30% of her maximum health. Hensu Jutsu. When activated, Kaze switches to her ninja aspect and turns invisible for 1.5 seconds. If Kaze takes damage or uses her main attack during the gadget's duration, her invisibility is cancelled, but if she uses her super, it is not. In her ninja aspect, when activated, Kaze switches to her Geisha aspect and she quickly dashes 3.33 tiles forward. Advanced techniques. Enemies hit by Kaze's strike spot will be slowed down by 30% for 2.5 seconds. When marked enemies are defeated, the explosion will also affect nearby enemies within 2 tiles for the same amount of damage. Gratuity included. In her Geisha aspect, enemies caught in Kaze's storm will lose 1/3 of their ammo when the storm lands. However, enemies walking in the existing storm will not lose their ammo. In addition, this only affects enemies hit by the center of the storm. Enemies only hit by the edge will not be affected. More specifically, the center of the enemy's hitbox must not be within 1 tile of the edge. This star power does not work against the haste safe, the IKE turret in Siege, or spawnables. In her ninja aspect, this star power increases the duration of her gadgets by 50%, resulting in a 3.75 second speed boost with Gracious Host, or 2.25 seconds of invisibility with Hensujutsu. Hypercharge. Ancient Energy. In both aspects, Kaze gains a 20% speed boost and a 5% damage and shield boost. When activated in her Geisha aspect, Kaze's storm now deals 136 damage per second, including the Hypercharge damage buff to enemies, up to maximum of 680 damage over 5 seconds. When activated in her ninja aspect, Kaze's super dashes 30% faster and marked enemies will be damaged instantly if the damage would be enough to kill them. The threshold is 2720 by default and is affected by damage buffs and debuffs on Kaze, including the Hypercharge damage buff, bringing the starting threshold to 2856. Before you leave, avoid these mistakes. Number 1. Staying in one aspect. Number 2. Switching randomly. Number 3. Using gadgets without a plan. Number 4. Using Hypercharge instantly. Number 5. Ignoring your escape options. Kaze isn't about choosing one aspect. She's about knowing exactly when to become someone else. Master your timings, master your decisions, and Kaze becomes one of the strongest brawler in the Brawl Stars. If this guys helped you, leave a like, subscribe for more, and tell me in the comments which brawler I should cover next.